Good morning, coding friends. Hope you're joining in for part 2 of our card game. So in the first part, we started creating our card game. I'm going to go back to our code, hit run so you can see our project we got. We got this little monster truck that is jumping over the cactus. We got a cloud, we got the ground. And in part 1 of the video, we created the ground and our background. All right, so I'm just going to jump out of here, restart. So we've got our ground and we've got our 3 cactus that we've created. So going back to our code, we've got that set up. We've got our sky blue. So I'm going to hit run. Whew, that cactus a little big and right in the middle of the screen, right? So we got our background at 200, 200. That is the dirt. We've got it at a scale of 5 with that animation 1. And that's just that dirt background you see moving. That was in video 1. So all this code I have so far was in video 1. If you missed that, jump in there, watch that one so you can get everything done. Then we got our enemy, which is our cactus. A little big and not touching the ground, right? So let's fix that real quick. We're going to go in and we're going to change our scale. So again, it's our enemy. So we're going to put that in there and we're going to change our scale. And I'm going to just try 0.3. So I know half's going to be too big still. There we go. I like that. Might be a little small to begin with, but we'll see as we go. All right, good. Let's drop that cactus down now, right? It's a little high. Now, depending on where your ground is and how you drew it, this will change a little bit. So I'm going to start at 375 and 350. I just know those are down at the bottom, right? My X. So let's see how that looks. There it is. At that far side with the X, I could move up a little bit even. So to move up, I might change that to like 325. There we go. I like that. I might even lower it a little as it starts to move if we get some holes under it. But right now that works. I'm happy with it there. So let's go ahead and start by getting our cactus moving, okay? To do that, we need a velocity on here. And it's going to be moving on our X. So velocity X. Same as enemy. And we're just going to do a negative because we're going across backwards, right? And to begin with, I'm probably going to set this at like -2. Reset run. There my cactus goes. And you see how there's getting to be some blue underneath my cactus? I'm going to lower that cactus a little bit. So I'm going to hit reset. And I said I might have to do that. So I'm going to go 335. Hit run. And it's staying pretty much the whole way. I could go a little lower. Maybe 340. Or I could leave it. I don't have to get too worried about it, right? There we go. Yeah, I'm going to call that good. Now here's the problem. It goes, but it doesn't come back, right? So let's go ahead and start coding that section. Okay, I know we don't have all of our sprites in here yet, but let's go ahead and get the cactus so it's working right. So I'm going to reset that. We are going to do a if statement, right? We just want to go and get this thing coming back. So we need a control. And we got a couple of things in here. Right now I'm just grabbing a plain old if. And I'm just going to drop it in between the draw sprite and the background. So if my cactus gets over here, and I'm going to go a little bit off the screen. So I'm going to go like maybe -10. Okay, so if -10, my cactus.x gets less than 10, okay, or equal to 10, if my cactus, so I'm going to do sprite.x. Now we can type this in too, right? And this guy is enemy. So if enemy.x is less than -10, I want him to go back to the beginning. So I want him to come back all the way to the beginning. So here we go. We're going to add that real quick. We're just going to change our sprite.x of enemy to, and I want him to be kind of a random number here, so they doesn't always appear at the exact same time. So I'm going to do between 410, because that's off the screen, to like, let's go 500. That's way off the screen. Reset run. There we go. Let's see if it works. Cactus is moving. And there he comes. So I'm liking that. Our cactus is definitely doing what we want. It's going across the screen, coming back. So good. We're going to stop on the cactus for a minute. And we're going to go and concentrate on our cloud. Okay? So, cloud. Here we go. I'm going to create a sprite. And it's going to be named cloud, right? And we're going to do an animation of a cloud, but guess what I don't have? I don't have a cloud in my animations. So here we go. Go down to the bottom. We got this plus sign. I'm just going to draw it. You could go look and see if they have a cloud in code.org. But heck, cloud's nice and easy to draw. I'm going to go grab white. I like that. That's fine. I'm going to grab my pencil, and I'm just going to start drawing. So here we go. I'm going to draw the front of my cloud. Make him as fluffy as you want. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to give him a fill of white. So there he is. Okay, now to give him a little bit more depth, we can get some other colors. I got a little bit darker white. I can go back in with my pencil and give him some shadows. Make him look a little darker in places. Give him some. Just make him look a little fluffier, right? Kind of the Mario cloud with an eye, eyebrows. I like that. Give him an ear over here. I can even give him a little better smile. There we go. Got a nice little cloud there. So now let's go make our cloud change a little bit. Again, I don't want to add a frame. I just want to go to duplicate. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change him a little bit. So now I've still got that same color. Maybe I want to go in and bring this a little bit fluffier. Maybe like that. Maybe I want to add a little bit more color in here, depth there. And then I can always go in and get a little bit different color. Maybe I want to go way darker. Maybe he's getting a little angry. And add a little bit darker color at the base. Now here's the other thing. I got my white here. Maybe I want to go in and pencil in a little bit different shape. Maybe he changed a little bit. Got a little fluffier down here. Maybe this filled in a little. And I'm going to grab my paint so I can fill that. Fill that in. And this is really hard when they're little like that. So then I would just grab my pencil, go with a little bigger. Oop, that's too big. And I can just draw over and fill those real easy. And I can leave those look fine. Now, I'm going to grab my erase tool, and I'm just going to take out a little bit of the cloud. Maybe I want this part to have changed a little bit. So I'm going to take that out. Get a bigger eraser if you don't want to take that much time. And maybe this has gotten a little smaller. There. So he's changed shapes a little bit. Oops. Now another frame and just change them a little bit more. Maybe this time I just want to go in and draw a little bit more of a point on this side. Maybe he's changed and pushing that way. And maybe this is not as fluffy anymore. Now we got fluffy up here. I'm going to grab my colors, fill, fill, fill. Now, go play with it. If I want my color, it's right there. I don't want to fill that or my whole cloud would change. Now we're going to go like this. Okay. Now we've really kind of changed what he looks like quite a bit. We could change this. I could get my fill, go to my white. I could get rid of this. Well, if I get rid of that eye, it'd disappear, but we'll get rid of that one. I like that. Now it's changed quite a bit. Maybe I want to go back in with my pencil with a little bit of the darker color again. And maybe I want to add in, whoa, that's my erase tool. That's not my dark color. I don't think I've got any of my dark color on there. Oh well, I can find a new dark color I like. There, I like that one. Yeah. Now I got my pencil. Now I can go in and give him a little bit darker color in here, kind of like a storm cloud. Maybe he's getting ready to rain. Get some color over in here, the whole bottom kind of. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to call that good. Now, we go back in, and I can see the animation going here, and we're going to go back to our code. Now, this is animation 2. Not a good name, right? Let's call it cloud. If I can type. Capital C. Code. Our animation for our cloud. Oops. As the animation of a cloud. Now I'm going to hit reset, run. Oops. Okay, he's right here. I like it. I think I want to make him a little bigger, and I'm going to move him up quite a bit. So let's do that now. I'm going to go to sprite scale. I'm going to make him 2. That's pretty good. If you want to go a little bigger, you're more than welcome to, right? We can always play with this and make it our own. So yeah, let's go 3, see what happens. I can say it's a little too big. I really like it when it turned into that thundercloud. All right, so I'm going to now move it up the screen because that's a little low, I think. So I want my Y to go up, and we're going to just play around because I'm not quite sure where I want it, but I'm going to jump to 150. Moved it up a little. I still have quite a bit of blue up here. So 150, let's go to 100. And I kind of like that. I can see that he does go out. If I were to go up a little higher, he would go out. So I might not want to go to 50, but I could probably go to 75. Yeah, see, he fits perfect there. Now, same thing. I want my cloud moving, right? I don't want him stuck right there. So with my cloud, instead of starting in the middle of the screen, he's going to start automatically at 600. That's way off the screen. It won't be in line with my cactus at all. So there goes my cactus. Not that it matters if you were to line up with it. Oh, wait, he's not going to come at all because we didn't give him a velocity. So our cloud has to have a velocity, right, in order to move. Now, I can see that I've got a -2 there. So, I don't know, I'm going to just give him like a -3. So he moves at a different speed. Hit the run. There he comes in. Okay, and he is moving at a different speed than the cactus. Now he's off, and he doesn't come back. So same thing we did here. Let's just get our cloud coming back. So restart. Another if statement. And we just want if cloud.x is less than 10. So we could actually kind of take this whole thing, and I'm going to take this whole if statement. I'm going to hit Control C, throw that away. Do you see how that little black mark's there? I can hit Control V. I just pasted the entire section. Now, this time, it's not enemy I'm looking at, it's cloud. And I want my cloud to be able to go from 500 to 600. That's going from 410 to 500. This is going to go 500, 600. Okay. And it can go off the screen, -10. I might need to make that a little bit bigger so he just doesn't disappear at the end. And here he goes. If he just abruptly disappears, yeah, he abruptly, you saw the end get cut off. We're going to change that. This is going to go to like -25. That -20, I did. So here he goes. Across the screen. He still is abruptly, so we're just going to go 100. I want him way off the screen. Now, our cloud's moving. Our cactus is moving. We are missing our player. So let's go ahead and do that. Stop that. And we're going to go and add our player. So Sprite, we're going to create our player. And we'll just do 200, 200 to begin, right in the center. That way we can find him and then start playing with his position. And we need an animation for it. And we need to go create an animation. So at the bottom, we're going to, there, vehicles. And you can choose all these different vehicles. But right now, we kind of want a horizontal view. So any of these would be great in this. And then you get your ships, spaceships, and things like that. I'm just going to take this one. I kind of like this truck here. So I'm just going to add it. Done. I'm good with them being called Monster Truck. Now, as always, I don't like to keep the stock. So let's go in and duplicate this. So now I have my second one. And I want to make it look like the rims are kind of moving. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to grab my eyedropper. That brings up the silver that's in there. And I'm going to move down to get a darker color. So I went quite a ways down. And I'm just going to grab my paint bucket and change it. So now I can see my truck looks like this. Now, I'm going to go back to my first one. And I'm going to make the front one change. So now it's kind of changing back and forth. So hopefully that looks like he's moving a little bit. I could go in and do a lot more on here, but I don't know that I want to do much with the wheels, just those rims moving. I could go in and turn them a little bit, but that gets a little bit more difficult going in and doing something like that. We could change the color inside of the rims a little bit as well. Go in, find that color, and just go to a slightly different color. Grab my paint, and when the rim is light, now this one I have to go to each one. So I did that. I don't know if you can see it much, but maybe I'll go every other one. So there I did two. Not a big change, but it's a little. Then we could go in and we could play with these flames as well, like an eyedropper. Pick some of the colors. So I'm on, oh yeah, I could go in and change our rotors in the other one. So I did that in here. I did these two in the front one. So now I could go in, do like this one and this one. And up in the front, I had done these two, so I'll do top and one of the bottoms. Top and a bottom. And maybe that'll give us a little bit of motion. Now, I want to mess with these flames. So I'm going to take this yellow, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to take my paint, and I'm going to go and find some places that aren't really touching the yellow. Now, I can see that, ooh, this one doesn't have yellow. So let's put a little yellow in here. There we go. And all this is kind of connected. That's got yellow there, yellow there. So maybe I'll go in and I'll play with this yellow. Maybe I want to go up and get a little bit more of an orange color. And now I'm going to go in and dump some orange in. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I like that. So now, when I look at my truck, the flames even seem to be changing a little bit. And if I want more, I could go in and get my eyedropper, grab that orange color, and go a little bit redder. Get my bucket and go in and fill in some of this red. Ooh, a little brighter. Let's fill in here. Maybe a little bit up in here. Maybe a little back here. I could have gone a little bit more maybe and got more of an effect. But you can see he's really changing. All right. Let's get him to show up. I want to see what he looks like. So here we go. I got my player. We need our animation of Monster Truck. Run. Whew, he's pretty big. And I can see some of those changes going on in here. So let's go ahead now and do a sprite scale. That's way too big. So I want to start by changing player's size, right? Way too big. Let's take him down. I'm going to go even smaller than I did the cactus, 0.2. You set run. Not bad. I like that, but he's way too high up here, right? We want to move him down and kind of back over this way. So I'm going to do 100 and 350. So here we go. 100 for my X and 350 for my Y. Now he's on my ground. He's kind of staying on the ground. I like that. He's doing good. So I'm happy. Some of the changes in the flame is a little harder to see because he's smaller, but I definitely can see the tires kind of changing and stuff. So gives the effect maybe that he's moving forward. Next thing I'm going to need to do is make it to where I can control my truck. Right now I can't do anything. So let's get into the code and fix it to where I can start to move my truck up. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with an if. Just put that in there. And I'm going to go with the arrow key. So I want if key down and the up arrow is pushed. I want my truck to go up. So I'm going to go and grab sprite.y because we're changing our y. Right? So if the arrow key is up, I want my velocity of my y to go up. Sorry about that. And going up is actually negative. So I'm going to put in like a -2. Hit run. There he goes. Push the up key, and he's up. And he's going to continue going up, so that's fine for now. But you know what? I don't like this animation to just jumping straight up. I want it to look like he's jumping. So I'm going to rotate him a little bit. So I'm also going to go to sprite.rotate. I'm going to type player. And I'm going to give him maybe like a -10. Let's see what that looks like. There he goes, up arrow. I like that. Now it looks like he's jumping up. So that part's good, right? We like that. Now we need to get him to where he comes back down. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do another if statement. I'm just going to drop this one down below the one we just made. Okay. Get that to drop in there. So now I need to check if he becomes less than something because I'm moving up. So if he gets a certain height, which is less than, because we're going up, I'll do less than or equal to if, and I'm going to just type this in, player.y is less than. And I don't know quite how high I want him to go up yet, but I'm just going to put in, let's put in 200. That's right at the top of the screen, okay? We might play with that and change it. But at this point, that's what we want. So now I want him to come back down. So here we go. To get him to come back down, we're going to just do a velocity of 1. So sprite.velocity, because 1 puts him back down. And 1, run, I push up, he's going up, and he's coming back down. Now I like that, but I don't know if I want him to land like that. So, and I definitely don't want him to go through, but we're going to fix one problem at a time. I'm going to do another rotation. And I'm going to do a positive 10. I did a negative 10 there. We're going to do a positive. Run, up we go. I like it. He hits it. Back down we go. I'm okay with that. So now we just got to get him to stop and go back level. So let's do this. We're going to stop that. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So make sure that you're paying attention. We've got to add our if statement up above. So right under where the cloud is, or right above our if key down, let's get another if statement. And again, I put it right up above there, okay? So it's not down inside this time. Now it's up above. So here we go. We're going to put this in. We're doing if my player gets down to a certain, so I need greater than. So math, there's our less than, there's our greater than and equal to, okay? So we can grab that, we can put that in there. Now, it's our player.y again. So if player.y gets to some point, we want all this to stop. So I'm going to say, we know we had it at 350, didn't we? Yeah, 350. So I'm going to put this at like, I don't know. I'm going to do 355 just to make sure it's a little bit lower and I can see that it works for sure because I'm starting at 350. So what do I want him to do when I get there? Well, I want my rotation to go back flat, right? So let's do that. Sprite.rotation. 0. And we want our velocity, y, to go to 0. See what happens. He's going up. He's coming down. And he stops. Can he go back up? He can go back up. And he can come back down. And he can stop. So we're going to stop there for today. I'll get a part 3 here in a couple of minutes.